Hi, everybody. I'm David Morgan. Thanks for joining me for the CyberLink webinar on all the best new features of the Director Suite 365. Today, what we're going to be going over is all the new features in the Director Suite 365. Well, not all of them, most of them. So in PhotoDirector, we're going to be looking at our guided editing that's changed up a little bit. I'm going to be showing you our new Deblur tool and also our color replacement, as well as the new edit features. So our editing has changed a little bit. The editing tab, we'll be looking at the text effects as well as the frame templates in that. For PowerDirector, we'll be looking at the motion graphic titles, which are brand new, and also the nested projects is picture-in-picture and shape designer. And in ColorDirector, we will be looking at three-way split toning and color replacement. So let's just go ahead and jump right in. And the first thing we're going to be looking at is our guided editing. So I'm going to go ahead and present my desktop to you guys. And as you guys can see here, this is the launch screen. And I just wanted to point out that we have added a Learning Center tab here. So if you guys ever want to learn some good tips, some how-tos, see some how-tos on PhotoDirector, you can just click right here and it's going to take you to our Learning Center. But now we're just going to jump into the full mode. And one thing I want to show, because this has changed a little bit, is guided is now here and edit. So this is a new tab right here, and it's kind of meant to feature just our simple to use editing tools, and then edit's going to be a full layer editing. So let's just take a look at guided. And the first thing we're going to look at is our Deblur tool. So right here is our Deblur tool. We're just going to use it on this picture right here, which has got some motion blur. So all you have to do is just hit apply. And if you can tell, his face is way more in focus now. We can zoom in. See a big difference there. And now let's do it with another, so you guys can see how it works. So the car is out of focus, and then we're just going to go under guided to our Deblur tool. Hit apply. And you can see the difference. Make it a little bigger for you guys to see. Yeah. So that's our new Deblur tool. Check it out using some of your own blurry photos and see how well it works. So the next thing we're going to look at is our new color replacement tool. Go ahead and bring in the photo. So this is one of my new favorite features under color effects. So under guiding color effects, you can just go to color replacement. It's pretty much just like color splash, except you're actually replacing colors now. So you're going to use the dropper and select your color. You want to turn up the tolerance if you need to. And then you're going to just be able to shift the hue back and forth. And you can also do that with saturation. And so as you can see, as we raise the saturation, there's some red in here, which is okay, because we've actually added a tool, the brush tool. So you guys probably know if you're a user of PhotoDirector, and you can just erase everything that you don't want to change colors. So it's a really easy to use tool. And if we want to bring that back in, there you go. So that's our new color replacement. And those are like the big new additions to our guided tools. We obviously have all of our other easy to use tools like our AI transfer, blur tools, overlays, and things like that. So all of these are going to be pretty easy and quick to use if you've never used PhotoDirector before. All right, so let's go ahead and bring in another photo so I can show you guys some more. Bring this photo. So one thing I really like now that we've done is we changed up this mode over here. We've added a lot of cool features in it because now you can do all of your guided tools from here. So before you weren't able to do that, but now you have all your guided tools within your layer editing. And we've added some text effects and things like that. So yeah, just one second. I'm going to switch back. Just show you guys the next thing we're going to go over This is kind of what we're going to be creating within our new features. We have a lot of cool text effects and things like that, and that's what we're going to be looking at now. So let's go back. So what I'm going to do is kind of make this what you could use as like a thumbnail for YouTube, right? So this is something you haven't really been able to do very well until now. So let's just change this to 16 by 9 since we're going to use it for YouTube. And then I'm going to go ahead and bring in, this is going to be Brad. He's going to be our YouTuber for today. Just to show you guys our guided editing, one thing I really like is that you can just use the background removal, straighten our layer editing now. So I'm just going to select around Brad. And make this a little smaller. And I'm going to remove the selected area. I need to clean that up just a bit. That's all right. Oh no, that looks good. So we're just going to move Brad over. Just go ahead and make him smaller and move him over to the side. And then we're going to throw some text in. So we'll just grab our text tool. And we'll just say exploring Colorado. Oh, I don't want a border. Let's take off that border. All right. And now we can actually go to our text transfer. So we've created some text warps here. So it's pretty nice. You can have a bunch of different styles. I'm just going to go with this one for this project. Make this bigger. And then throw in a little bit more text. Say with Brad Travel. I'm just going to pull this up, get smaller. And so I'm just going to show you guys this. These tabs right here, these are effects right here. So this works on all layers. So we could add like a drop shadow to make that a little easier to read. We can also do bevel and emboss now. So you can go to a layer and you can bevel or you can emboss it. So just to kind of show you what tools we have here. We have pillow emboss as well as up and down. Okay. And then I'm going to bring in another image. And if you guys have never used it, we also have some really awesome blending effects, which I'm going to show you right now. I really like the blending effects with all of our new text effects. So move this to the top. Oh, wrong one. Sorry about that. Move this to the top. Use our selection tool. Convert that. And what I'm doing right now is I'm just going to create a mask real quick. So that way I don't actually affect anything. So that has a mask now. Oh, sorry, I meant to put it on the wood. So let me invert that. Make a mask for the wood. And then I'm going to go to blending effect. And I'm just going to give it a little wood look. So we'll just use multiply. And then I'm going to bevel it. It's just going to give it a nice little bevel. So you guys can see. Maybe a little bit. Just give it a nice little look. All right, great. And then just to show you guys this as well, we have our adjustment tools right here. So for example, if you want to just adjust one layer, you can do all the adjustments here. So for example, if I wanted to lighten up the wood a little bit, I could bring up the, oh, gotta be on the wood, sorry. Go back. Yeah, you just want to make sure you have each layer selected when you do this. So you can actually affect it just right here. if you want to change like the vibrance, anything you really want. Next thing I want to show you that's new in 365, I think it came out over the summer, is under guided with a bunch of frame templates for you guys. So this is a lot like our Express templates, except it's just a frame. Let's find one. I like. Just use this one. And so when you bring it in, it's actually going to come in as a layer. So you could like resize it and then move it down. So there we go. Resize and move everything around. And then the last thing, show you two more things. Now that we have guided in here, all of these, we actually have our AI transfer in here, which is a huge benefit because now you can actually just come in here and do like an AI transfer straight from here. Actually, let's use one of the new watercolor ones. So you could actually do an AI transfer, which is just turning your photos into like paintings or sketches or drawings. And these all come with your PhotoDirector 365 or the Director Suite 365. So like that. And then also the color replacement, just to show you guys. Color effects. And let's actually go to Brad. Sorry about that. So let's look on Brad. So if we're in here and we were editing and we were like, oh, let's change Brad's color of his shirt. We can easily do that. There we go. We can easily change it to green. Great. So I'm just going to look here. Does anybody see anything? So it looks like everybody's asking questions about PowerDirector, so I'll get to those when we get, well, we're about to move on. So that's pretty much the stuff I wanted to show you guys for PhotoDirector, and it seems like everybody's here really to see PowerDirector, and I see somebody's asking about a YouTube channel trailer. You could use it to create a trailer. You can also use PhotoDirector to create like thumbnails like I just did for your YouTube channel. So let's go ahead and close this out. And let's open up PowerDirector. First thing I want to do is show you guys. I want to show you first. Let's see. So I'm going to show you guys motion graphic titles. So I'm also going to show you a few other things. So in our preview window, here's the preview quality. So you can see your 4K, full HD, HD, and all your resolutions. And then under our settings right here, if you go under, well, first off, I should actually show you this. Right here, we have audio scrubbing. So this is a new feature within 18 and 365 is audio scrubbing. So if you have this on, when you scrub through the audio, you'll hear it. And then in our editing, you have the reverse timeline right here. All right. So, and then one other thing, in case you guys don't know about this, is our library preview. So this is new to 18 and to 365. So you have a little library preview here, and you can also undock these and you can use them on different screens. So you can have up to 3 screens now with PowerDirector. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and shorten this a little bit because I don't think we need this long of a clip. And we're going to create what would be like a little opening for a YouTube video. So we're going to do it for Brad's show Exploring Colorado. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys our new motion graphics. So these are all of our new motion graphic titles. There's a lot. I think there's about 40, 44. So this is all them. This is going to be in your 365. Go and drag that down. Put it in our timeline. Now, in order to edit this, all you need to go is to the designer. And it's just going to be like our previous title designer. So we can just move this up here. Click here and be like Exploring Colorado. We can't read that, so let's change that color to maybe like an orange. And then we can do this one. All right, cool. So there's our title. We can just take a look at it real quick. All right, so let's go and bring that in. And then when you guys change the length, it will actually change the animation. So whenever you resize like your clip, it's going to make it perfect. So let's take a look. All right, let's liven this up a little bit. Let's throw some particles in. That's another thing that you get with the 365 is you get all of our creative packs, which we come out with all the time. Once a month, we're bringing out new content. So we'll just grab this. I want it to fade in and out, so I'm just going to go to our particle designer right here and create a fade in and a fade out. Okay, let's take a look at this now. All right, cool. And then the last thing I'm going to do, if you guys have used our software for a while, you're probably going to know about this, but we have free background music clips. I just want to let you guys know if you are using YouTube, the only thing you can't do is monetize. So if you use any of our sound clips, you can't monetize. They're for non-commercial use, but if you aren't monetizing on YouTube, you can actually use all the sound clips in here. So let me find one I like. And so what's cool about this is none of these are stored on your computer. So like, for example, I could just come here and preview this and I could just download it. But I already know I want to use this one, so I'll just drag and drop it. And now you can hear the audio scrubbing. So like I could find like a part that I really like. So maybe I want to take it out from here. Just pull that back. And then let's make it the same length. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put it right here. So that's like a good transition spot. And then a new feature we've added is you can actually, on anything, on your timeline, video, music, motion, like the titles, whatever, you can hold control. So if you hold control and drag it, it's going to change the speed. So now I just changed the speed of the song to make it the same length as my clip. And there we go. That would be like a little intro for YouTube. What we're going to do now is create kind of like the closing screen for a YouTube video using PIP and Shape Designer. So what we're going to do is just grab a background image. Grab Brad again. And then what we're going to do is import. Over here. We're going to insert a project. And what we'll do is we'll grab what we were just working on, the opening. Just use this as an example. Just pull this up a little bit. So here's our nested project. One thing I like about our nested project, this is something I forgot to show you guys too, is our new transitions, which I'll delete these and show them to you guys over here. So like, for example, I just deleted these transitions. This was a version I created earlier. But when I delete those transitions in the original file, they don't actually go away. This is one thing I really like. So basically every time you bring in a project, it's nested in this project and the changes just save within the new project, not in the old one. So you could just keep making changes to this and it's not going to affect the original project. So let's go ahead and pull this down here. And for example, if we wanted to, we could just hold control. Oh, yeah. So, oh, well. Let me make this longer. And then I'm going to edit the nested project. So we can just go ahead and resize that. Also, you have your blending effects right here. And then you have all your clip attributes. So come in here and affect the rotation. For example, like we wanted to rotate it, we could rotate it. And you can also affect the corners. So if like I wanted to bring in the top corner, let's like just do something extreme like 10. Oh. What is going on? Oh, there we go. All right, so for some reason that's not working, but you can actually just affect the corners here. So you have a lot more control over your nested projects now. So the next thing I want to do is show you guys the shape designer. So here, what you guys can do is create vector shapes, which means however you make them here, when you bring them in, if you want to shrink them, grow them, whatever, they're not going to become distorted or blurry. So, for example, if we wanted to give Brad a little cloud, and we have a lot of presets within this, so change it to look however you want. You could actually change the colors, so we could change it to like green or blue. And we could change the shadow. You can also make it just a uniform color. So there's a lot of options in here, a lot of things you can do. So go in there and explore it. Yeah, just throw this in. And so it's going to ask me to save it. So whenever you make one, you're going to be able to save it and reuse it over and over. And if you guys missed it, this is under your PIP objects, and right here is your shape designer. And we can go here. We can actually open the designer here as well once you have an object in. We can actually use keyframes. So for example, if I wanted to fade this in, I could just throw in a keyframe. There we go. It's going to fade in now. So it's basically just creating a keyframe animation. Very good. And then once you're here, you can actually jump over here. You can resize this straight on the screen, so it can be exactly where you want it. All right, cool. So that's the shape designer, and the nested projects is PIPs. All right, we're gonna look at a few things real quick. First thing I want to show you guys, if you guys use chroma key, we've actually added in another key. If you guys haven't used chroma key, we've added another key. So if you come here, you can do this, right? And then like there's an edge around, so I could just add another key and grab this green right here. And just increase that range. There we go, nice clean green screen. So that's nice. I like having two keys personally. It makes everything easier. Here, I'll go and show you guys some of these new transitions as well while we're here. So like, here's some of the new transitions. I really like this one. So we throw that like right here. We could throw another one right here. Yep. So those are some of our new transitions. They're all under the geometric. Next thing we're going to look at is through a split toning, which is actually in ColorDirector. So if I go to a clip, so for example, this clip right here, I right click it and go to edit video. I can edit in ColorDirector. So if you have the Director Suite 365, this automatically comes with it. And this is really for your color correction. So we've always had two-way splitting, but we added three-way. So you can take a look at what that means. So like I can affect the highlights like this. So make it like a little pink. We can affect the midtones. And we can affect the shadows. You can actually bring the shadows down right there. And if you close it, your changes are saved, and you can jump back into ColorDirector anytime and change it again. And let's take a look at our other cool tool that we added within ColorDirector, which is our color replacement. So if we go to Effects, click on the little dropper, select the red, bring it up a little bit, and actually we have keyframes. So like, for example, I want these leaves to change over time. Just make them green. Let's take a look at that. So nice little tool if you want to do some color shifting or you just want to switch one color, which we'll look at real quick. So if we go to this car, ColorDirector. So if you guys don't know this, shadows have blue in them, and this car is blue. So if I were going to try to change this car, this blue, all these shadows would change as well. We don't want that. So what we're going to do is we're going to use a mask. So we have our mask right here. You can just select your car. Okay. So let me redo that. I want to do a little smaller because what I want to do is not the shadow of the car. Show again. Just do all that. And so you could go frame by frame and make sure every frame is perfect. I'm not going to do that because the track is pretty good in here. But if you really wanted to get perfect, you can go frame by frame right here. But right here, you can do it automatically. So this is just going to track the object and keep a mask over it. So now that I have a mask, I can go down to my effects in here and grab color replacement. Grab the color of the car. I can just shift the hue. So we can kind of make it whatever color we want. So maybe make it a little more saturated. So we can make it pink like that. Close that. All right. So just to kind of show you guys what we did. Sorry, guys. Anyways, so that's pretty much what we just did. So somebody's asking about stabilization. So this is a nice shaky video. So all you need to do is go to Fix and Enhance. And you have your video. So once you have your clip here, click on this, Fix and Enhance, Video Stabilizer. And this is gonna just stabilize it up for you. So you could always increase the level of stabilization. That's looking pretty good. And then there's also this use enhanced stabilization, which just helps a little bit more if it really needs it. But it looks like it's going to need to render, so let me render it real fast. So if you're ever working on a project and it starts getting stuttering like that, guys, just grab these yellow tabs right here and pull it out and just hit render preview, and it's going to render it for you. Sometimes it takes a little while, just depending on how many effects you have in, but that will show you a good clean display. So a couple things to help you guys if you guys are having issues with running smoothly and seeing your cuts. One, if you want to see your cut, this is like any editing software. You're going to want to render preview. So if you're looking just to look back at your cut and see the cleanest, smoothest you can, you're going to, what I showed you, just pull out these yellow tabs and hit render preview. The other thing you can do, if you just want to see everything play smooth, is lower the quality of the preview. This is with every program you run into. If you do too many things, It's just your computer can't run it fast enough because it's doing everything at once. Somebody was asking about PhotoDirector. You can knock out a green background with your background removal tool. I'll show you that again, Billy, since you weren't here. You can do it with any color, actually. Let's just take a look at this real quick. So there we go. So stabilization is going to look like. I hope that answered your question. Lawn Ranger, you asked what's an Express project. It's for really simple, easy to use things. I'm going to show you what it's like. So if we jump into within, are you talking about Express one? Oh, you're asking about Express project. Sorry. So an Express project, if you go in here, if you guys don't know about our Express projects, this is just a way for you to quickly create like slideshows and things like that. So if you come here to Express projects, just gonna load them all up. What these are is just little templates for you guys to use. So you can like preview them. They have music and things like that. And then you have like opening, middle, and ending, and all you have to do is just drag and drop these into your timeline. And then we could do like our middle. And then if you zoom in on these, this is all you have to do is just drag and drop clips. So if I just pull up these clips, it doesn't matter. We'll just use these. We'll throw this into one. And then like you see two, so you're going to need to make sure you put two, and two. And that's pretty much how the Express projects work. Yeah, and they're just there to make like quick little slideshow or video slideshows. Yeah, that's what an Express project is. Also, I showed you guys earlier, here are your aspect ratios within the actual program. In case you're late coming, we added 1:1 right here. So if you're in the middle of working on a project, you can always switch it right here. Oh, let me see what other questions there are. Oh, I was going to show. Somebody was asking about knocking out the green. So what I'll do is, actually, what I showed earlier, I'll show you a couple different ways to do this. So if you want to take out the background of a photo, for example, this one, this could be green, this could be white, this could be any color. One thing you can do is you can go to our guided editing. So this is under edit, guided editing. Let me turn it off. Background removal right here. And this is just going to let you select around and remove any background. A little smaller. So you can get rid of the background like that. All right. Or you can use the selection tool right here. This magic wand works pretty well. Let's raise the tolerance a little bit. And there we go. So that's two different ways you can do it. You can also use this tool right here and select around. Make it smaller. And one thing I like about this way is you can actually go in and refine the edge. I'm not sure why this isn't coming up. That's weird. Don't know what's going on. Sorry, guys. That should be working. But if you go in here, you can actually go in and trace around the edges, and it just cleans it up for you. A Lone Ranger? No, the desktop and app are different. So if you're looking to get the desktop, that's 365. What we're looking at is Director Suite 365. It's also PowerDirector 18 or 365 and PhotoDirector 11 365. So those are actually either you can buy perpetual or you can buy a subscription, but they're different than our apps. The render preview screen. So let's go back to PowerDirector, David. Show you the render. So I'm just going to throw this clip in. And so basically, if you have a clip, all you need to do is grab this little yellow tab right here and pull it out. And that's going to give you your render preview. And you can just kind of do it however. And one thing I really like about this is you can also produce range. And what that means is, so say I had a bunch of clips over here like this and like this down here and things like that. Like if all I wanted to do was produce this, I can come here and just do this, and it's only going to produce this part of the timeline. If I click produce range, it's only going to produce that part, and it's also how you render as well. So yeah, there's a link to help you create your YouTube channel trailer. Maybe that's a webinar we can do separately because I feel like that's a little bit more intricate. Did anybody else have any more questions before we wrap this up? Glitch effects. Glitch effects are coming to our mobile apps soon. They should be out this month, I believe. I don't know the exact date. I'm bouncing photos back and forth between. When you're bouncing stuff back, no, you can't leave it open. You don't really want to, Larry, because it's just going to use up space. And basically, once you open something up, you're going to change it and you're going to go back and you're going to be able to open it back and forth. So like I was doing earlier, if you were here, I went from PowerDirector to ColorDirector and then bounced right back. And then you just use that one program. The different types of producing. So yeah, let me go ahead and jump back and look at the producing. So with producing, not exactly sure what you're looking for here, but so this is just going to be our different formats. Basically, H.264 would be like, for example, an MP4, MK4. HVCX is just different profile types. Basically, these are different codecs. Certain things can read them, certain things can't. AVI, MPEG-2. They're just different codecs that you use. Usually I go, personally, I'm MP4 guy. They're just good compression. And you have all your different settings right here. This is your quality. So you can go all the way up to 4K. You have your faster rendering technology. So this is just going to help you speed up. You can actually do stuff in surround sound. So 3D, I don't do too much in 3D, but you have your 3D right here. And then you have for different devices. So for example, if you have a Microsoft device or Sony, you can actually go in here and export them for the specific devices, as well as Apple. And you also have your online. So as you can see, YouTube's using like MPEG-4, MP4 as you can call it as well. Not sure if that covers your questions. Somebody's asking if you can upgrade between 17 and 18. You can. Wilbur, if you're listening, if you can send out that link, which you can upgrade. I'm not sure what you're asking. Produce tab button. So under the produce tab, all these different options, David, just different codecs and formats. basically, like if you're looking to make a smaller, higher quality one, I really recommend going with H.264, MP4, and then setting your quality right here. This is going to be your different settings. I'm not sure. If you produce a standard definition video as 4K, will it improve the video? No. So you always want to produce the quality that you're making it at. It's not going to make it any better. You can't make HD 4K just by producing it 4K. It's always going to be HD. And somebody was asking about the profile analyzer. So this is just recommending what you do. So best matched format, right? You have an MP4 at this quality, MPEG-4, and this is basically what it's going to make it. And this is just basically creating, it's looking at the quality of the video and saying, okay, well, this is the best quality you're going to get. So you might as well make it that size, because the bigger you make it, obviously. So if you had the resolution of 4K on something that's only 28 by 72, it's going to be bigger for no reason. So exporting something in 4K when it's only in HD is actually just not beneficial at all, because all you're doing is just adding more data to something that's never going to be higher quality. Yeah. Well, thank you guys all for joining. It's going to do it for us here tonight. And yeah, I hope you guys all have a good night, and thank you for joining us.